new episodes of The View when she tries to pull the race card.
Yes.
And then she's like, America is racist. And then they're like, yeah, they might be racist, but they're not like slave owner racist. like somebody that we...
That's so true.
Yeah.
One thing, and I would have even actually not give her any is she said, well, like, I guess that's just what they did back then.
Yeah.
She should have followed that up with saying something along the lines of, and I understand that that's a departure from the way I've talked about this.
Greg Gutfeld's punchline landed perfectly, sending the room into laughter, but he wasn't just cracking jokes. He saw an opportunity to call out what he viewed as blatant hypocrisy. For years, The View's Sunny Hostin has been outspoken about holding others accountable for their ancestral histories, often framing her arguments around systemic oppression and historical responsibility. But when confronted with troubling revelations about her own family's past, she shrugged it off as just a fact of life. Gutfeld didn't let it slide. He pointed out how moments like this highlight the pitfalls of identity politics, especially when someone's narrative doesn't align with their own reality. He argued that Sunny's moral high ground had just collapsed, emphasizing the need for self-awareness and nuance when discussing complex issues like race and history.
She's so wrapped up in identity, and she had no idea who she was.
Well, now we understand why she always makes Whoopi get the coffee.
Exactly, because if she is shaming descendants of this, will she continue to do that when she is now one of...
By reducing complex issues to identity-based talking points, Gutfeld argued, activists like Sunny often overlook inconvenient details, including their own contradictions. The real irony, he noted, wasn't just that her ancestors were tied to a system she actively opposes, but that she refused to reflect on it. Instead, she downplayed its significance, sidestepping the glaring contradiction in her stance. Gutfeld's critique struck a chord, offering a prime example of what happens when moral superiority collides with uncomfortable truths. To him, this wasn't just about Sunny, it was a broader lesson on how personal accountability often takes a backseat to performative outrage. The internet wasted no time reacting. Social media exploded with memes and sharp humor, including one viral post that quipped, "Reparations? Let me write that check to myself real quick." Twitter and TikTok lit up with debate. Some defended Sunny, arguing she shouldn't be blamed for her ancestors' actions, while others called out the double standard.
For defense, everyone has ancestors that did unspeakably horrible things. It's just that not everyone's ancestors have records tied to their DNA about it. Worried for Sunny Hostin's progeny in the future that do a DNA test and find out that they were related to a cast member of The View. And they're like, oh, it all makes so much sense now. Why I'm so stupid and fat.
Sparked a heated debate. Should public figures like Sunny be held to the same moral standards they impose on others? Critics argued her response lacked the reflection and accountability expected from someone with such a high-profile platform. Instead of engaging in meaningful self-examination, her dismissive reaction turned the conversation from historical complexities to accusations of hypocrisy. What could have been an opportunity for nuance became yet another debate over who's truly morally accountable. Then came the awkward fallout on The View. The moment the news broke about Sunny's ancestors being slave owners, the show's usual lively energy evaporated into an uncomfortable silence. Even Whoopi Goldberg, known for her quick wit, seemed at a loss for words. Over on Gutfeld, the reaction was anything but tense. His co-hosts didn't hold back, firing off sharp jabs and playful barbs. One even quipped that Sunny might need to start shaming herself. Their laughter underscored the irony, further exposing the cracks in her moral high ground.
Nothing worse than to find out you're a white woman.
She's so disappointed.
It's really disappointing.
Her mother was white.
Oh my
The
god.
shame.
Oh my god.
The horror. History, and finds out that this is fantastic. She is descended from slaveholders. She's descended from slaveholders, and she's been apparently getting a lot of mail about her call for reparations because it turns out she's going to be paying them and not actually
Rosie O'Donnell offered a different perspective, emphasizing that people should be judged by their actions, not their ancestry. she warned against oversimplifying complex issues like race and history, highlighting how revelations like this can challenge rigid narratives and prompt uncomfortable but necessary self-reflection. Reactions to Sunny's response exposed a sharp divide. Some saw it as a test of personal accountability, while others viewed it as yet another example of identity politics backfiring. Either way, the tension was undeniable. What could have been a moment of growth instead became a debate over her perceived hypocrisy and reluctance to confront her own history. This story is a reminder that no one's past is without complexity. And it raises a crucial question: if you demand accountability from others, shouldn't you hold yourself to the same standard? Whether Sunny faces the issue head-on or chooses to ignore it, how she handles this moment will define her legacy. Sunny Hostin's personal life just took another dramatic turn. This time, the spotlight is on her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, who's caught in a massive legal storm. We're not talking about a minor dispute. This is a high-stakes scandal with allegations of insurance fraud, kickbacks, and a staggering 180-defendant RICO lawsuit. At the heart of the case is an alleged scheme where Dr. Hostin and others exploited the healthcare system for profit. The accusations? Accepting bribes to perform unnecessary surgeries and submitting fraudulent insurance claims for procedures that may not have even happened. Imagine patients being put under anesthesia for operations they didn't need, while insurance companies unknowingly footed the bill. If these allegations hold up, this could go down as one of the most shocking medical scandals in recent history.
I think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
And that's...
But Dr. Hostin's lawyer, Daniel T.H., has fired back, calling the lawsuit baseless and accusing the insurance company of using it as a smokescreen to cover up their own financial troubles. The legal battle is escalating, but what makes this story even more explosive is its direct connection to Sunny, who, as it turns out, may have been fully aware of her husband's questionable dealings. Enter Joe Rogan. The podcast mogul wasted no time calling out what he saw as hypocrisy on The View. He pointed out that while Sunny has been quick to criticize others, especially when it comes to medical ethics, she's stayed silent on the possibility that she knew about her husband's alleged illegal activities. Rogan's comments only added fuel to the fire, casting a shadow over Sunny's credibility. Now, she's caught between her public persona and her husband's legal troubles.